We back with another show, Girlfriend Talk Podcast. You know, I got my crew with me. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, ladies.
It's your girl Juju.
Just ask.
Girl table.
Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hey. Before we jump into a couple of topics, we want to go ahead and celebrate a couple of birthdays. Just as she just hit the big 40, looking good, boo,
I'm
looking
still
good.
39. I'm
Hey.
still 39.
Okay,
My birthday
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh my God! Well, you celebrated on Saturday, so
She holding
okay.
on to that one.
Well, anyway, she'll be the big 40, so make sure y'all give her a shout out. And my girl Juju, celebrating her birthday on Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and y'all got some wine with y'all, so we can have a
Yeah.
toast to another year. You ladies are wonderful. I'm so glad
Yeah.
y'all in my life. Go ahead and tee up.
Up.
Hey.
All right. Blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I keep sipping, I can't. I don't know what's gonna happen after this. I'm a lightweight, so happy birthday, ladies! I love y'all.
Yeah.
Love
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you.
So we
Love
gonna get we gonna get into a couple of topics. I know y'all been hearing about the abortion ban and the laws going on. I see new talking about the rape. If you get raped or something like that, the rapist family can sue the doctors. I think I was
you.
reading it. I think it said they can't sue you, but they can sue the doctors or the facility who's giving out the abortions. I think that's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
absolutely insane. Even for them to be thinking about, because I feel like a woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. That's just me, because all the different circumstances that we go through, things that happen. So I'm totally disgusted by it. And then a slap in the face to say somebody can sue you after being raped or
Yep.
sue the
Yeah.
that's just a slap in the face. I feel like this world is just getting more and more crazier every day. What's y'all thoughts on this, and what have y'all been reading and seeing as well on the subject?
Well, I think it's called Wade versus Roe.
Hmm.
And it is about like anti-abortion. And I agree with you, Tammy K. I can't believe it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely pro-choice, because there are a lot of reasons why a woman may choose to get an abortion. And like to your point, what you said earlier about if you were raped or incest, and that is excluded.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, and that just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think that they realize um, the trauma that they
Yeah.
can potentially cause.
Yep. I
You know,
agree.
and it's sad. I don't know why they are even thinking about passing a law like this. I mean, I know it's not happening. Well, I can't say if it is or isn't, but for what I know for right now, it's not happening in Illinois. But it don't matter where. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like at the end of the day, it shouldn't take place nowhere. Point blank. Period. So that's just my thoughts on it.
That I definitely agree. I was thinking like, what if you have a family already and they say either you or the child? You know what I'm saying? So basically, the mother gone. It's just because it's kind of like you abort the baby as well. So I'm like, well, I kind of sort of agree to a point, but I think there should be reasons on. I agree with them biblically, because we're not supposed to murder. Um, but a sin is a sin. That's how I look at it. So if you're out there, you fornicate, and then you get pregnant, whether you have an abortion or not, or if you look, yeah. But anyway, I was just saying that if you abort the baby, it's still murder. If you decide that you want to keep the baby because of you don't want to go against the Bible, you are not already fornicating. So I just feel like it's a lot of things, the way that, some of these states are looking at it. But if your child is 14 years old, make a mistake, and have a baby, or get pregnant, not have a baby, but get pregnant, you're responsible for that extra child for 2 years. And I'm not, I don't want to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I agree with you guys. It is more so a pro-choice, and I think that women should be able to do that. But I do understand from a biblical point where they're going.
And I don't think they're thinking about it in no biblical way, shape, form, or fashion
But
at
but
all.
why do you think they trying to change that?
I don't think they read a Bible. Oh, baby, I just think it's a part of control and stuff like that. But go ahead, Table. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I agree to a certain extent. I know some people abuse the fact of abortion. If someone have health issues or someone raped, you have all kind of scenarios where it's not the right, or the baby come here and it's coming here with a defect, and bad health. Why would you want to bring a baby in the world to suffer that way? I think of those reasons it's okay if you decide to do that. But then you have, when they say one bad apple spoiled a bunch, you have some women out here just doing it just to be doing it, or even teen kids. Hey, I'm gonna go get an abortion before my parents find out, or you got the women out here. I'm gonna get an abortion before my husband find out. Stuff like that. They abuse it, and that's probably what some of this, playing factors that they like. Oh no, no abortions. But either way it goes, even if they pass the law, out of all the stuff that's going on in today's world, they're gonna find a back door to get what they want, regardless. All you're gonna do is make somebody rich by doing it illegal.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I'm thinking about getting a she shed in the back of my house. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm doing anything illegal, but if you gonna come up, I'm just thinking about, I done missed the PPP loan, all of that mess. I don't want to miss out on this shit. That's just me.
I'm saying I'm just going about all the plan B's, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
Start
stay in the
something.
drug game. Okay. Look, and you just opening up those doors for somebody else to,
Yeah,
jump in there. They still gonna do what they want to do. You just making it illegal. But, like you say, it's their preference on what they want to do. But I think if they're gonna do it, they should at least have some boundaries on, hey, why do you think you need this abortion, or what's going on, and make the decision from there.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think a lot. I think about it too, like, so you making okay, even if you made a mistake or you whatever, and then you making these women have the baby that may abuse their child, may neglect their child, and it's like, I get, and when I agree with Juju's point too. From a biblical standpoint, I do agree that is wrong, but I still feel like people should have control over their own body. You can decide if you want to do wrong or not.
yeah,
And I think that's the part that bothers me. Like, you trying to control what other people do, what other women do with their bodies. So I think I guess we're gonna just keep an eye on it, see where
Right.
things go. I've been looking at the like the shade room and all of that, looking at people comments and stuff, because things that you thought would never happen is happening,
yeah,
and it's like, it's really, really, really wild. So, keep y'all eyes out. If y'all hear anything, we'll definitely bring that. I know we're gonna have to spin the block on this topic again, because things will probably be changing. Do y'all have any last thoughts on that?
Well, I was just going to say, to your point of what you said earlier, I just feel like, to add insult to injury, you're going to, whoever decides to help, so it doesn't matter if it's a nurse, a doctor, they even say a Uber driver, if
yeah,
anybody knows that you are going to get an abortion, and if you are a part of it in any way, shape, or form, then that family of that rapist, or whoever, can, you can be fined for that. And I'm just I have no idea why they are trying to do this. I really am not sure what the purpose is, but it's disgusting.
Because it sounded like the one that was able to change this law, son or somebody, probably was the rapist. And it's high power, money. And it only happened when, it's in there and it happens to your family, it's out of the good or bad. Now let them been their child being raped and it wasn't there, they would look at it a different scenario. But hey, if a rapist want to sit there and you want to give them all this, the family, the money to applaud the rapist, then that's on you. That shouldn't have to make me sit here and sacrifice a baby that I was forced upon, and the daddy have a choice to disappear out the life or don't take care of that child, or anything of that. Who said why I got to be stuck with a child that was forced upon me that I didn't want? You took that from me. You mean to tell me that I'm the one who had to sacrifice because your son took something from a woman that wasn't, his, that he didn't supposed to touch? That's
I,
crazy.
I just want to know, like, what was the atmosphere that they were in that they thought to give a rapist, which is a crime,
Yeah.
Right,
their family,
right,
give them some, you took something from somebody. Like, who was like, you know what? I think the rapist family, they should have rights. What?
Yeah.
Like, how
Oh,
do you even get there? How do you get, that's what I'm like, stuff is so backwards because I don't know. It's just backwards to me. And somebody
it's
got to be
it's
like, this
yes.
don't make no damn sense. Somebody got to be the one to say it. Like, it
I mean,
doesn't
you
make
got
any
millions of
sense.
people saying it. You got several people saying it, but when one person higher up make up their mind, it's just like fuck the world.
Yeah.
but
Uh,
you did bring up a good point though. Table is when a child is brought into this world. If that child cannot say if it's a adult that's don't even have a lot of money, they're going through the government. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? So you sitting up there and you making me have a child, but then you taking care of the child.
right,
So and then I would be so petty. I'd be like, so you want me to have to have a baby by a rapist?
right.
So my baby could possibly be a rapist.
That
I'm
too.
not.
That
I'm
way.
just not. I'm not for that. And then I'm gonna sue the hell out the family because then at the end of the day, you won't even be able to see the child. It is not your responsibility. I could get a child up. You can't tell me what I can't do with my child. You'll be
Right,
left out. You can sue all you want to, but then if I had a child, it's up to me. It's not up to the family.
right,
So here, you could adopt this. You can't adopt this baby. This family can't because I have a right. I
right.
would be super petty on that.
yeah.
True,
It's just a big
true.
mess. But
It
like I said,
is.
we'll circle back around it. Thank you
Right.
so much for y'all input. We're gonna hop right into the topic. Um, how, how long should oh, before we get into our topic, I'm sorry, Table, I'm gonna send it over to you. When do you?
Okay, so when do you confess your sins?
I'm gonna drink this wine.
Yes. Okay. I want to know. What do y'all think about that? When do you confess your sins? When you get to the point that you're confessing your sins?
Who
I
you
mean, who
who
you
you who
confessing?
you confessing to? Is it
Right.
God or is
I
it?
mean,
Because
it could
I
be
confess my
anyone. You can
sins to God.
confess. The tongue is powerful. You can say it to, anybody. It can be in the room. You confessing your sin on what I'm gonna start first. Let me tell you when I confess my sin. And it could be real, or you can be, unreal about it, or however you want to be it. But I confess my sin when I'm fucked up. You give me some drinks, I'm telling you everything you want to know about me. Judy, that's true. So yes,
And
all
everybody
Shay
else
sins when
too.
she drunk. Yes. So that's me. I'm gonna tell you what you not even what you want to know. I'm telling you shit you don't want to know. That's when I'm confessing my sin. So yes, that part.
Well, I think for me, I confess my sins to God all the time because I mean He sees it anyway. So I might as well tell the truth. But as far as it's like if I've done something to someone else and it's sinful, I mean, I'm pretty sure that has been a time where I haven't, and that was probably just coming from a place of like fear, of like that. Oh, I probably would really hurt this person if they knew what I've done. But I also think that it is important to be truthful because I feel for me, I try to treat people how I want to be treated. Sometimes that is hard, because I am flawed, but I do try to treat people how I want to be treated. So at this point in my life, I try not to like be
Just
a
as
toward others.
I do apologize. There's guilt that you can hurt somebody's feelings without committing sin.
I mean, you can, but I
Confessing your
guess
sins.
well,
Yeah, I can
you
hurt your feelings,
definitely
and that's
can.
not a sin, hurting your feelings.
I mean, you definitely can, but I guess I'm just thinking about my past experiences and things that I've done that I know, and I'll just give an example. Like I've cheated before, and like I was in a relationship because that's how you cheat, well, not just in a relationship, you can cheat on tests too, but anyway, I digress. I'm more so talking about a relationship, and so it's like I've never was honest with that person about what I've done, and then but yet I tried to play the victim, and so I knew what I did was wrong, and at the
It
time.
wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. It was their fault probably
And that
anyway.
wasn't
But
no sin
that,
either.
Okay,
That
okay.
wasn't no sin either. That wasn't your
But
husband, so that wasn't a sin. I'm
well,
like, yeah.
what I will say is that it's certain things that I will just keep to myself. But I know what a sin has been in my life, my past experiences, and I'm gonna tell you that it was.
I mean,
Um,
although you wasn't in a relationship, you lied. That's a sin.
huh? Well,
I
yeah,
said,
because because cheating is a part of lying. You know
yeah,
what I'm
it
saying? So,
is. It's a
I
big one.
mean, yeah. So, so at the end of the day, I'm just saying all what I'm saying. To just say that I do think it is important to just be upfront with people because I do think, even though it may hurt, but I feel like for me, I will respect you more if you're honest. Not saying that I won't feel away, and not saying that it won't, like impact the relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship. But I would appreciate hearing the truth personally.
I, for me, it would eat me up. So I definitely confess my sins to the big homie because I'd be like, "It's your girl. You had seen that. You seen that, right?" um,
My girl
that was on me.
did.
That's on me. I apologize. But I like just as said, I try my best to treat people how I want to be treated because the guilt, it just I can't I be like, it eats at me or whatever. So and now in the past as well, I've definitely been uh committed a couple of sins here and there, left and right, you live and you learn. I'm trying to think, have I ever, like, with cheating and stuff, I cheated plenty of times. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think I've ever confessed to it. I
That's what I'm
don't.
getting confused at because some,
It's stupid to
we
confess,
going into
huh?
we going we going into a relationship, but who said it ain't got to be relationship? Who said cheating was a sin? Unless you're married,
uh,
Yeah,
well,
I
you
mean,
really ain't because you don't belong to nobody until you married.
that's
I,
true, but I think for Juju point, what she's saying is that it's still part of lying, though. It's still a part
Uh,
of being deceitful.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I mean, even if you cheated on the test, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not you copy someone else's answer that
But
you
if you
didn't.
ain't asked me did I cheat, that how I'm lying if you ain't asked me if I
I mean,
cheated.
but I don't think that you have. I don't think the other person has to know for you to
Right.
know that you wrong.
Gotcha.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
I'm talking about that I shot the shell but I ain't shoot the deputy type of shit. That's what I'm talking about.
saying? You was a
I
mess.
mean, yeah.
I'm I'm just saying, but yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you right. Y'all right. Y'all got some good points. But me, to my treating people the way you want to be treated, I get that. They're my loved ones and the ones that I have around me because I could slap a bitch and sleep good tonight. I'm just,
I mean, I guess
I'm just saying. I mean, I know y'all want to look all good on this podcast, and people saying that y'all all that y'all know good and well when you mad, that be irrelevant. You will still turn over and go to sleep. Y'all say some stuff, put some hands on somebody or something, and still sleep peaceful at night, knowing damn well you don't want them to slap you back.
I said I was flawed.
I mean, I think that I do confess my sins to God all the time.
Okay.
But I think that I think it would eat up at me, but I have to pray and ask God to help me with the strength so it won't eat up at me, because I probably won't, depending on who it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it depends on who it is, who I would confess to.
And I feel like I get like being open and honest with somebody. And I did something to somebody, but I think I would never tell that person. So I did repent to God.
Right.
And I'm like, my heart, because I did feel bad, but I would never, because I feel like that will hurt that person or whatever is over and done with. No need to bring up old stuff. So I had to repent. I had to forgive myself and keep it moving or whatever. But I was like, I wouldn't.
Nah,
Yeah,
Tammy K, let's roll that back a little bit.
You said what now?
It's old to you, but it's new to them.
Right.
It is, and I don't want to. I wouldn't want to hurt. And I'm just, you know what I'm saying. I would never want to hurt anybody.
Well,
and
you did already.
I did, and I had repented. So I had cast my cares into the sea of forgetfulness. So I forgot about it. Can't even tell.
Anything wrong, you go to the person that you
Yeah,
we skipped that part, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna drink to that.
Yeah.
Question, Tammy K. So when you said earlier,
why would you want to ask me a question?
I just
she asked it the first time, don't she, Tammy?
I'm just trying to get some clarity.
No, ma'am. I had said what I had to say.
But I really would like to know, and then we can move on if no one else has anything else to say. But I really would like to know when you said that, because when you said that, you repent and you ask God for forgiveness. But what about asking that person that you did it to?
So if the person doesn't know that you hurt them, whatever, I feel like I feel like I honestly feel like some things are better left unsaid. You have to learn how you make mistakes. Everything is not, you need to take it to somebody and apologize to them. That's how I feel. If I didn't do anything to you personally, but I still felt like I hurt that person. And I felt bad about it. So I had to repent and let it go. But it wasn't nothing. If I tell them it would make things any different, I just felt like I hurt that person. I know I did. It was wrong. My bad.
So let me ask you one more question.
You had questions.
I'm sorry. I gotta ask one more question. Okay, and then as long as you don't make me ask another one, I'm done.
Okay, go ahead, girl.
Okay, so what I want to know is that, like, let's say you're in a relationship, right? And then your person cheated on you, and would you want to know? And let's just say they didn't tell you right away. This is something that they waited a year or two later. How would you feel about that?
If they waited a year or two later, I would definitely be hurt. I'm not gonna lie, because it hurts to be cheated on or whatever. So I definitely would be hurt. If I was to never find out about it and we just moved on, I think I'd be okay with that too, because I would never know. So it wouldn't. I can't feel the type of way if you never tell me. But if you waited like a year or two or whatever, it definitely will bother me. And like I said, that's a shame thing. When you hurt people, and that, like I said, I had to ask for forgiveness for the thing that I did in the past. I'm not that person anymore. Okay. But we've all had our, you live and you learn.
Mhm.
And back in the day before, I wouldn't feel guilty about nothing I did. Absolutely nothing. But now I just can't. I can't. I just feel like everything circles back, everything comes back. So, like I said, I would never want to hurt another human being. I just That's just not me.
Right.
So I just be over here trying to make y'all laugh and keep it moving and go get something to eat. I'm gonna just That's it.
Okay. Okay.
So, but like I would talk to my friends about it or whatever because it ate me up. I
Right.
can't like I'm like I'm too like I lost my love. You grow. So the thing that happened, everything is not about cheating or anything like that. It's not always about cheating or anything like that. But it I had to just let it go. You have to, because if you hold on and beat yourself up about it, you're never going to grow as a person. You live and you learn, and then you keep moving. You don't just continue to make the same mistake or the same sin. So,
All right.
Well said.
All right. So what's our topic for today?
girl, I don't know. You didn't ask me so many questions. I don't even know no more. But I like that. I like that. I like that we can be real on here. We don't
Right.
have to share all our business, but it's all about being real and, speaking our truth and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and get into the topic. When should a man propose? The day after y'all meet?
That's a little too soon.
I mean, man.
When you
We
confess
I
your
don't think.
sin.
you done confess your sins. Where is their baby? Baby, look. No, I think I I say 3 years tops. I feel like you have to go through seasons with the person. Now, this is not for everybody because every situation is different. But me, 3 year tops, because you go through the season, you probably go through the highs, the lows. You might live with that person, um, and stuff like that. So I feel like 3 years. Some people literally will get married after a week or a couple of weeks and have the longest, best relationship, best marriage. So I think it depends on the person as well, and then I'm gonna also throw it out there. Y'all answer it first, and then I have something else to add to it. What do y'all think?
Well, I think that when a man sees a woman, he knows right then and there if that's going to be his wife or not. They
See,
know
that was
that
my
at
point
that
that I
point
was
that a
about to say.
man knows because they don't need as much security as a woman. They when they walk in there because they change. If a man wants something and they know that's it, they do whatever it takes to make sure it's theirs. They're just like if you going on the car lot and you test drive a car, at that moment I'm leaving this lot with this car. I don't think, that's what a lot of people give. I think sometimes make their errors in. They be like, we're gonna wait 4 or 5 years. For what? You gonna either be with me or you not. It's no time limit, to what you want to do and how to grow together. Some of them do put it on there, but at that moment, if you are ready to put into a relation, I mean, just start dating. This man probably went there. I'm guaranteed when he went his homeboys, man, I met my wife today. Oh, that girl gonna be my wife. They know from the jump. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But some women pressure them as, hey, when you gonna make me your wife? Oh, it's time for you to make me your wife. If he hadn't made you his wife right then and there, or even brought the idea up to you, I wouldn't even waste my time moving forward at that point because you should know by 3 years. In 3 years, you should have been known by now.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's just
I
me.
think. Go.
No, no, go ahead, Juju.
Oh, okay. I would always say 2.5 years. I'm with you. I'm not going no further because you should know at that time, and I'm with Tay. When a man meets you, they know if they're gonna introduce you to their family, and if they gonna marry you. It's just the same as us. When we see a man, we know they either in a friend zone or they getting something that day. It's just that, that's the type of, you know, uh that's really the way that men and women are. So I'm not gonna give you no longer than 2.5 years. you should know by then, and you just strolling me on, and it's just like, um, I've known people that have been with their girlfriend, boyfriend for like 9 and 10 years, and then they don't make it. All of a sudden, they get together with somebody else, and they marry them within 8 months or 2 months or whatever. And that's just like, no, I done gave you this, I done built you, and yet you
Right.
gonna go into a whole nother chick. And I think it's more so of, right now there's domestic partners too. So that it's like the society ain't even really trying to push people into marrying, because they consider, after some states consider after 10 years, y'all basically common law marriage.
Right.
No, I'm gonna need that paper. I'm gonna need that ownership. I want that certificate. So no, I'm not gonna waste my time that long with any man past 2.5 years. That's what you get. That's what you get. You're not getting no longer than 2.5 years, because I'm ready to start my life. I'm ready to build my life with you. And then, to allow them to continue to make up excuses. I'm ready, but I'm not financially ready. We could do that together. And I ain't getting no younger, so no, of course not. 2.5 years tops, all you get. But
Well, I think for me it depends, and I say that because it's not always about the male. You know what I'm saying? It can be about the female too.
mm-hmm.
And I can speak for myself that I can't say that I'm ready. And there's a few reasons why I can say that I'm not sure if I'm ready or not. And again, sometimes I think people forget. I think for the majority, there's a lot of women out there who are ready. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I think, at least for me, I feel like there's certain things that I need to see and that I may want before I'm ready to move on with that person. And sometimes people can say, well, the amount of time or the time that you have been in a relationship, shouldn't you know that by now? And maybe you should. I don't know, but I think for me is that um, if you're not at a certain point within yourself, or if you feel like that person is not at a certain point within themselves, then um, I think, and again, this is just me. I think that it is not something that I want to rush into, because being in a relationship is already a lot of work. And then when you add marriage to it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just even more work. And I say that a lot of people be like, oh well, isn't it the same thing? No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? You are making a promise to one another. You're making a promise to God. And I feel like when you're doing that, it's a little bit harder to leave, especially when there's kids involved also. So I just think that there's different factors that play into if someone is ready for marriage or not. And it doesn't matter if it's like male or female. For me, I used to think that, and I told myself I was not going to live my life for other people. I was going to live my life for me. And I think that sometimes, when you hear people say, oh, you should be married already, oh, the guy should have been proposed, um, I wouldn't want to say no if that person was ready. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to say no. What I mean is that I would say no, but I don't even want to be put in that position to say no until I'm absolutely 100% sure that I'm ready. And again, it doesn't necessarily, sometimes it is about, if that person that you're with, if that's the person for you, but it's also about like, where am I at in my life, to even say if I'm ready or not. And what I mean is that, and I'm not even talking about necessarily from a financial aspect, because I'm straight. I'm just more so just talking about like mentally. I know that there's a lot of things that I'm working on within myself, and I don't want to bring that into a relationship. And I understand that you're not perfect, right? I'm not saying that I'm looking to be perfect. I'm not saying that I'm looking for my relationship to be perfect. But for me, I feel like I want to be at a certain point where my communication is better. You know what I'm saying? Where I can be, like, not let my ego get involved, in certain situations. You know how many people I hear about in relationships and sometimes even marriages, like the things that they go through. And not saying you're not going to go through them when you get into your marriage, but it's just like, man, for me, I just want to be able to work through those things when they do show up in my marriage. And that's just how I just feel, but I don't fault anybody for saying, oh, that man needs to propose to me within a year, that man needs to propose to me within 2 years, or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, for me, I'm not there yet, and I'm still exploring why I'm not.
Yeah.
So
And
why
that's
would you give yourself a limit on a time? Why would you give yourself a limit or a time to, because if you're working on yourself, that means you should be in a relationship anyway. You should be working on you and not trying to be working on yourself in a relationship. Because really, when people are in a relationship, if you have been with that person more than 2.5 years, you are already doing wifely duties. So I don't understand what's the difference of.
Well, I think for me, the difference is that I can stop at any time, and I know somebody in a marriage can stop also, but it is a lot harder. Like, I've talked to people who've been in relationships versus being in a marriage, and it is a lot harder to just say I'm done when you are in a marriage. I mean, I'm not, for some people it is, and when you first get into a relationship, you're only thinking about how good it feels. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about your values. You're not thinking about what it is that you truly want. You're just thinking about, I like this person. Let's see where it go. And I feel like a lot of times when we get into these relationships, we really don't know what it is that we want until we're like already in it, and then like we're past in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I speak like on past relationships that I've been in, like, yeah, I like these guys. I'm like, yeah, what I'm saying, I'm excited, but like I'm really not really thinking enough about what it is that I want, at least back then, what it is that I want and what it is that I'm looking for. And that's just where I was at. I feel like there have been times where I realized things, now I want to say too late, but just realize things to the point where it's like, now I have to ask myself, okay, well, what is this about? Where is this coming from? Like, just doing a lot of reflecting. So it's not easy. It's really not
no.
easy.
It sounds like, and it could be just me, because it sounds like, when you in that situation, you're looking for something wrong. And then you're looking as a two individual. When you're married, you become one. You can sit there and grow yourself and make yourself a certain way. But when you become with that significant other and y'all become one, you didn't sit there and structure yourself to being somebody when God probably intended y'all to be somewhere else. Because sometimes you have to grow together. And we got women saying, I'm working on me before I get in a relationship, but sometimes it takes a relationship for it to work on you, because that other person might bring the best out of you, and you might bring the best out the other person. But if you feeling that way, or if I'm feeling that way, I'm already in my head that I'm looking at someone and already saying I'm not ready. But when I'm ready, he's gonna be my husband. Maybe that's not the husband for you, because what we're saying is, if in a relationship you find that one, you head and heels over love, you know what you want. That's just like when you go see a Michael Kors bag. You want that bag, you're gonna get that bag, you're gonna make that bag work. That's just like it is in a relationship. So you're not thinking about, hey, I need to self-reflect on myself, but in the meantime, I'm gonna be in a relationship, because every woman at some point does want a husband, or one's
Yeah.
been married or something in their life or whatever like that. And you might not ever be in a place you want to be, but you at a place position where you need to be, and have someone to help you with those aspects in life. That's why I don't understand why some women say, well, I'm working on me, but then you still here for doing wifely duties. So if you're not feeling that way about that man, maybe that man is not that man to say, hey, that's my husband. Just, hey, I'm gonna just move along. And when you find your husband, hey, that's my husband, regardless of where you at in life. That's the way I think about it.
Yeah. And maybe that man or that woman is not for you, but I feel like you got to get to a point where you realize that you can't allow
Right.
somebody to do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it depends on the person, depends on the individual. Some people might not want to get married in 2.5 years. They want to date, want to still, do whatever. I what I be seeing too, I don't know. Like people will go and not get married, but go buy houses together. You're
Right.
not married or nothing. And I still don't understand
Yeah.
that. I'm like, why would you get a house with your girlfriend? Why would you buy a house with your girlfriend and
Co-sign a
not
car.
right?
Co-sign the
Like
car. You know,
I don't.
y'all get there, have a long a lifetime,
Right.
have a baby
Yeah,
there.
I'm
You know,
like,
Uh,
so you would rather buy a whole home than to get me. It's so weird to me. But like I said, different strokes for different folks. I think beforehand, I probably wouldn't have had no time limit. It's cool, but I'm older now, so like I said, 3 years max. You get that lovey-dovey stage. You getting to know the person. You see them in all their seasons. I still feel 3 years tops. If
mhm,
not, we could just move on
and
and
yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
But
I say when we investing in each other, that's when I get the proposal because if I'm investing and we invest in each other's life, your family can come. If something happened to me or you tomorrow, your family can come take all of that because we're not married. And I just sit here and put my money into it to let your mama drive a car that my name, or that I put money into a co-sign for you because now they doing better arrangement. They taking the house from me. All the stuff we worked on together. No, if I start putting my name on stuff as we husband wife, you need to put some kind of ring in play. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, we're gonna bring in a male perspective.
Mhm.
We're gonna bring on Ty, aka Playboy T. Um, what's your take on that? When should a man propose?
I think it varies. I think it varies on when. I don't think I will say this much. I don't think a man, at least from my perspective, knows right when you see a woman that you want to marry her because anything could go wrong. I might walk in and think like, hey, because you got to remember, as a man and a woman, this goes for both. Physical attraction is the first thing that you see when you see someone. But after that physical attraction, those characteristics, they might not be there. So I can't tell you right away that that's the person I want to marry. So it takes time, in my opinion, to grow into, and once you grow in that relationship with that person, that's when you can make that determination on whether or not you want to propose to her. Because I feel like men and women, we have two different roles, obviously, right? So as a woman, I'm trying to figure out as I thought about this topic when y'all first started, I'm thinking, what is it that a woman does right away in a relationship that she does as a wife? So when you first meet a man and you first start dating him in the first week, are you cooking for him? Are you taking care of anything in the house? Because y'all don't live together. But as a man, when we first start dating a woman, what's the first thing we do? We already paying for the bills. And when I say bills, that's dinner. We taking y'all out to dinner, buying y'all roses. We doing the stuff that a man should do from day one. That's why y'all fall in love right away. But y'all, the stuff that a woman does, it don't kick in till later. And that's the stuff that I need to see as a man to make the determination on whether or not I want to propose to this woman. And sometimes that takes time. Sometimes women have been burned in the past. And if they've been burned in the past, they didn't did it too early. And once they did something too early, they're like, okay, I'm not putting my all in right away. So I gotta wait. And again, for me, I have to have that time to grow and see what it is that you bring to the table. Because beauty is great, but I need more than that.
Hold up, Ty, aka Playboy. I mean, we got it for women on here, but I just you have too much dip on your chip, homeboy. Because I don't think I was feeling you till you said that the meal and the flour was a bill.
But it's the truth though. I mean,
No,
tell
it
me.
ain't. No, it
Okay,
ain't.
so tell me what it is that as a woman that you do from day one that you do as a wife.
But I mean, day one, you
No,
look
no,
at
no, no. But that's not the
no.
answer.
I'm not listening. Let me finish. You look at paying for Daniels and the flour as a bill. That's
Well, but it's
already
okay. But
strange
it's
for a
not
woman.
okay. You can scratch it. You
down
can
there
scratch
foul
it as
because you
a.
know you trying to get that cooter cat. You ain't looking at it as no
Oh,
damn
no,
bill.
no, no. You okay? But you can scratch. You can call. You don't got to call it a bill. You can call it courting. You can
Okay,
call
but I'm
whatever
just
it is.
calling it what you called it. You
But
said
that's
you
the
Okay.
pay
first
bills from day
date.
one.
It's
Yeah,
really
but
the
no.
first
Yeah,
date.
but it's the first
So,
date. But all right. But are y'all
so you
going
can't
out with
even
a
y'all
man?
ain't even together.
Are y'all going
What you
out with a
say?
man? And are you paying the bill on the first date, the
Hell no,
second
I
date,
Of
wouldn't
course
go
the
out
not.
with
third
you
date?
without
Of
paying the
course
bills.
not.
That's not no.
Exactly.
That's not taking care of my bills. That is
No,
getting
no, no, no. But
that's
it
not a
doesn't
bill.
matter. But it's part of the.
But
It's
you
part
doing
of.
it for
Once you
you.
get married, it's something. When you go out with your husband, are you paying the bill then?
No,
No.
Are you paying
you
the
know what?
dinner
If I'm
bill?
with my husband, yeah, sometime I will pay the bill.
It
Yes, I
doesn't
will.
matter. No, he gonna pay it
No,
all the
I'm
time. That's your
going back
husband,
to what you first said. You say from day one, on the
right?
You
date,
say day
you
one, day
paying
one.
bills. That's what you said. Now, I mean, you reversing it. That's cute. But I'm just going to what the hell you just told me. I'm focusing
Okay,
on what you
okay,
what
but you
you
focus
know.
on the
I'm
word.
all bird to bird. That's what it
What
look
you
like to
focus on
me.
the word bill, so
Okay.
you can change it to whatever you want to call it. It's something that a man does from day one.
So
So
we're
okay,
not.
so let's go back and let's focus on the point that the question that I asked. So tell me something that a woman does from day one in a relationship that she does as a wife.
I mean, it
She
depends on the
present
woman.
herself
She
well. She make
know.
you look good when she walk in the room.
No, come on
Yes, I'm.
now.
Yes, yes. I
So,
mean, you
so
ain't gonna tell no hoe. You ain't gonna pay no hoe, no bill or nothing. She coming there with her titties and everything. I know you gonna automatically right there. That's a no. So
Well,
if I walk in there and look wife status, that's enough for itself. Just like you paying for that steak and
So you're
flowers.
telling me that as just because you look the part, which is again the point that I made earlier, is that
And
it has
just
to be
because you pay
past
the bill,
looks.
that don't mean you the husband. Just because you paid the bill, don't mean
No,
you
it
got money. You
well,
could have borrowed
but
that
no,
steak
no,
and
no,
flour money from your homeboy.
no, no. Okay, but I still figured out. I still figured out a way to pay that dinner bill, and
I
then and
mean, sure enough. It's
whether
something
I
that I
borrowed
had
it or
going.
not, I still
It's
found a
something.
way.
It's something that I had going on to make you want to take me out in the first place.
Right,
That's what
exactly,
I'm
and that's
thinking.
physical. That's the physical part. So
Yeah,
once you get
what you
past the
trying to get to?
physical, right? No, but no, no, no. Physical. That's like I physically see you, and I'm physically attracted to you. But what else besides the physical attraction are you bringing from day one?
The same thing you. I'm looking at that the way you looking like a bill, cause that wasn't
No,
no bill, bro.
it
That
was
wasn't no bill. They
dinner.
ain't paying my bill.
No, it is paying your bill. You ate, didn't you? I know you ain't eating no salad.
Yeah, cause you
you
took me
you ain't
out.
too. You
That's
ain't
Right,
too.
exactly. But I'm
you took
feeding
me out.
myself. Yeah,
Cause I can buy
exactly.
my own self
That's
flour and steaks.
But you just said that. See, but that's the problem. See, you see what you just said? You said you could take your own self out.
I can.
You're absolutely
But you
right.
looked at
But
me
if
as a
you
bill. That's the problem. Don't look at me as you were. I start paying the bill from the day I bought you a steak and flowers. That's
well,
no.
okay, again, you focus on the word bill, but you can change that word to whether
Yeah,
it's a
I need you
bill,
to
what it's
change
a
it because that's why. Yeah,
okay.
that's what you said.
What
Yeah,
was you
go
want
ahead
me
and
to
It's
change
do?
it.
courting. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
I'm gonna go old school and say it's courting, right? But
It
Okay.
ain't
from
courting.
day but from day one, we are already with the assumption that hey, we need to do things like open the door for our woman. We need to pay the dinner bill. We need to pick you up and open the car door. Things like that. So again, what is it that a woman does from day one that she does in a marriage?
Okay, so let me ask you this because I've been married for a very long time. You said
Okay.
it's because there are men that do that when they first go on the date, but once they get married and get into, go into a relationship, they stop doing it.
Okay, but guess what?
So,
I get what you're saying, but y'all just said a second ago that y'all ain't trying to wait that long, right? So what happens if you jump into if he proposes, so he does all that, he proposes, you get married in 6 months, and all that changes? Because
I
y'all said y'all got a window, right? You
I
got a
do have
window
a
on when to
window,
get
especially with my worth and my value and my time.
right. So all
Time is
right,
everything. That's very
right.
important to me.
So
Now
you
let's go.
just so
Go
you
ahead.
just jumped the window and you just said that 6 months, right? So it's all everything's good in the first 6 months of a relationship. Y'all are happy, right? So if you just said 6 months and he doing that for the first 6 months, then y'all get married too soon, or he proposes too soon, then what? Because after y'all get married and he stopped doing that stuff, doesn't that make y'all say something like, okay, maybe we should have waited?
Well, who said 6 months? Because I think you said 2.5 years, right, Juju?
Yeah,
Two
I
and a
said
half
two
years.
and a
Yeah,
half
you
years,
should
but
know. You should know at 2.5
Well,
years
no,
if
but
if
y'all,
she
yeah,
ain't the
but y'all, no,
one.
no, but no, y'all said propose within 2.5 years, but you said from day one, a man knows whether or not he wants to
Yeah,
marry a
some
woman.
man does. I mean, and you know, like you said with the bill, most men know if they gonna make that woman his or not. Sometime when they walk in, that ain't just because somebody take you on a date, that don't mean it's their first time seeing you. It ain't mean that's their
Right,
first time courting you. They probably been seeing you from day one and love the
yeah.
way you present yourself. They already, hey, I want to get to know that woman. That woman one day, and then you go on your first date. They know right then and there. You
now,
know if you
I,
want something, you know somebody or not. That's
right,
what
I
I'm
agree with
saying.
that. I know, I agree with that.
So
I agree
yeah,
with that, but that's not every scenario. I
no,
agree with
it's
that.
not. I'm just saying most men does. That's why I said most, not all, because you know all men ain't smart. I'm just
But,
saying you know when
well,
you got
okay,
a you know when you got a dime piece, you know,
Yeah,
and you know,
that's
and
true.
it is a woman intuition on a lot of stuff that we decide just like a man know. You know right then and there if I'm gonna give him my time to this woman, or I'm gonna try to be the best, you know, to make her my wife or condition her to make her my wife. But you got most men that sit there and they make excuses on why 5 years later I had married you.
okay, so let
Yeah,
me
that's
answer.
what I'm
Okay,
saying.
so the only problem I have with what you said is that you said most men know what they want because the situation that you described about me, about a man seeing someone previously, that's not the case all the time. I don't think that, I mean, I don't think that every man, the woman that they fall in love with, they've known them forever. You may just see her out somewhere and ask for her number. I mean, it's
Right.
rare. It's rare nowadays. But if I just saw her out and I was like, "Oh, she's beautiful," I have no idea who she is as a person. Now, if I worked with her somewhere and I worked at a company for the last 6 years with her and I saw her every day and we spoke, that's a different scenario, right? That's
Right,
like what you
right.
said, right?
Yeah, but
Or
you going back and contradicting the topic. You go from most men to every man. I didn't say every man.
no, no,
You
but no, no. I'm not saying every man. I'm saying not even most.
okay? When
I'm
I
not
guess you
saying.
know
I'm
most
saying.
men, then I
Yeah,
could
no,
most
I'm
men that
saying not.
yeah
I'm saying most men don't know. They don't know. I
And
yeah
think
they do. They just don't acknowledge it.
even,
I
but
Most
you know
men know
what?
what they
That's
want
not
from the
even.
jump.
Let's get back on the topic because
Yeah.
even if it's not from day one, you know, in 2.5 years, I'm not giving you more than that. You want me to continue to lay in the bed with you, you know. So that's a wifely duty. I'm giving that to you.
but yeah, when did that kick in?
That probably kicked in day one. That probably kicked in day
Oh.
one. Just saying.
No, no, but yeah, no, I understand. I understand the time limit. I just don't know how to put that time limit on when it should because I think the situation just depends on the woman. Because back to my question or what I asked earlier, which is, what are you doing from day one? If I find that I'm with the woman and she starts doing those quote unquote wifely duties within month number two, she's just doing things, right? She's like, oh, she finally come over your house, right? You start to see that she, oh, you need some new sheets or whatever the case may be, just anything. And she starts to make sure that you care for her, you doing the same thing for her, you making sure that in that situation, then yeah, I absolutely think that it can move faster than, you know what I mean, than waiting 3, 4, 5, 6 years or whatever the case may be. Then yeah, you can move faster. But as me as a man, I need to see all those. I need to see all those things in order for me to propose. So I think it depends on,
I'm
obviously
not
what
giving you. I wouldn't give you all that. I wouldn't give it to you.
you wouldn't
Why?
give me
Why
what.
would I give you something like all those wifely duties just to
But
show
then,
you?
okay, but okay, so you wouldn't give it to me. But then why are you asking to? Because I don't know. I have to marry. I want to marry someone because I like what she's doing for me. Like I like how we interact together. I like how we work as a team. But if you're not doing your part, then why would I propose?
Would you tell her she not doing her part?
Well, my thing is then why you hold on to the relationship?
Exactly.
Well,
You still
because
with?
so
Are you
no,
still
no,
with
you're
her?
right. No, you're right. Well, there could be two reasons. One, you're just trying to ride out the wave, and
Oh, okay.
it could be people change. So some love could grow. They might eventually, say, hey, you know what? I do need to start doing. And to I guess the question that was asked or the point that was brought up a second ago, am I telling her? Yeah, if I tell her, right? If I tell her and she start to change and she start to slowly pick up more things, then yeah, that makes it, that makes me want to say, all right, I could propose. But again, until I see what I need to see, I'm not proposing. I don't care if it's no 6 months. I mean,
Well,
you
then
can put
why don't you just leave? Because I mean, you
because
trying to mold her into something that she don't want to,
no, no, you're right. You're right. But in a man's world, I mean, you ain't gonna just up and leave. And you like, all right, at this point, I know we ain't going nowhere. I'm just gonna ride the wave out.
I can see that. Point taken.
I think that, like when you guys talk about this window, you just never know. You know what I'm saying? Like you can sometimes people don't show their true colors until they actually in there. No
Right.
pun intended. And
That's why
so
I said 2.5 years.
as even still, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? It could be 3 years, it could be 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like at the end of the day, for me, I just feel like when those individuals are ready. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I can't say what that time frame is. I mean, you say 2.5 years, somebody may say a year, somebody may say day one, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it may be. But I think that at the end of the day, I have learned to do what Jessica needs to do for herself and not listening to what other people feel like what will work for them, because what works for somebody else may not work for the next person, and that's just what it
Yeah.
all boils down to. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They don't
Yeah.
make it right or wrong. Who are you to say that 2.5 years or 3 years or 4 years or a year is to say that that's when a man is supposed to propose, whether it's that man or whether it's that woman accepting that proposal. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just feel like whatever works for those individual people. If that man feels like he want to wait, it's up to that woman to say, "Well, I'll wait with you." And if you choose not to, then move on. Then
Mhm.
that's
Right.
just
So
what it all boils down to. I don't feel like there is really like no right or wrong. And as a therapist, I've learned to be indifferent. And I think that, like a lot of people are so stuck in their ways and what society say things should look like and so forth. And like I said, I've learned over the years to just do what's best for Jessica and kill that outside noise.
mhm. So
Yep.
let me
Because
ask.
the outside noise will have you jacked up, worried about what somebody else have to
You
think.
get
I
lost in
think
that.
It's a
You get lost in that. You do. You get lost in that. So many clients that I work with, they have lived for other people and not lived for them. And when you do that, you lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if I'm doing this for me, if I'm doing this because this person says it should look this way. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like I don't agree or disagree with whatever people thoughts or feelings on when a man should propose or not, because everybody have good points. I just feel like what it all boils down to is whenever those individuals are ready, and if one is ready before the other one is ready, then that's their decision to decide on what they want to do from there.
Mhm. So
that's a hell lot.
let me ask y'all a question real quick. So on this topic, because especially for the ones that gave a time limit, right? So let's say you meet a man, and y'all don't know each other, but y'all going out, y'all dating, and you happen to find out later on as y'all dating, this man is worth $3.8 billion, but y'all all good.
Okay.
So are you still gonna give him 2.5 years, but he doing everything he's supposed to do? You doing everything you're supposed to do? Are you gonna be like in 2 years? Oh no, I need to get proposed to. I'm gonna leave. You
Yes,
gonna leave?
I will.
You will leave a man
Because
that's worth three
yes,
point eight
yes,
billion
I will.
dollars?
Yes, I will.
I don't think
No,
so.
I'm not. I
Dated
don't
men
think
with money,
the
man.
money ain't mad anyway. So what?
You said
It ain't
what?
gonna never be mad.
And
You know
I'm
what
dating
I'm saying?
men with
So
money.
what's the point of me even staying there? It's never gonna be mad.
Well,
and then
no,
you'll be
but you don't know that. But
In
you don't know that.
2.5 years, I already got everything that I needed anyway.
But no,
So if
but
it
you
don't
don't.
work out,
But if you
it don't
didn't,
work out.
but you don't know that though. You didn't give it enough. How you know you didn't give it enough time? How you know that he was like, you know, in 3 years, and that was at the time frame that was in his head. So all you got to do is wait 6 more months.
if
No,
y'all meant to be, if
I'm
y'all
just
meant,
not
if
because
you meant,
there's so much resentment. Like there's the way that women think. It's like, man, it's like the first time we lose our virginity, we be like, dang, we lost our virginity to him. You know, you always wish that you could go back and do it all over, you know, do it all over again. Wait for your husband. At least wait for somebody that, you know, some women say wait for money. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's a lot of resentment there. If I'm constantly giving, if I gave you 2.5 years, you know, that's enough for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, you wait 5-10 years, you done already gave this man 5 years of your time, and you probably missed out on your husband. You know,
I think 10 years is too long.
For 8 months, this is my thing. I married my husband pretty fast, and I know, like, we were young when we got married, and yes, we grew together. We had to do things. It was very challenging. But you have some women right now that live, you know, women and men, that live in another country, and they never even seen him. At least we blessed enough to see our, you know, our spouses. These people that's in another country, they're not that fortunate. But the only reason why that's biblical. But the only reason why I say 2.5 years is because my mom was not married when she had me. So, you know, she didn't teach me how to be a wife. You know, and my husband's his father didn't teach him how to be a husband. You know, so what I'm saying is that with all that, I will only give you 2.5 years. Like I said, you lucky to be in this country where you're not just married off to just somebody and you just got to deal with it. You know, it's just too many excuses for me. And you know, like I said, I would resent. There's a lot of resentment if give you, you know, all those years, and then it's a slap in the face because, like I said, I've known somebody that was with this man for 8-9 years. He left and married somebody in 8 months. And it's
But
just
that's her fault for waiting. That's her fault.
It is, but that's resentment. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I'm not going to give you that long. I'm not going to give you the opportunity. And as far as me giving you that long, I'm not going to give myself that long, because 2.5 years I should know too. So I'm not just going to put it just on you. I'm going to put it back on myself as well.
So when you say 2.5 years, that is a deadline. Like, what if y'all like y'all could talk about it and he could say, well, look, you know, my plan is to, you know, get married in 3 years, and you like, nope, it's got to be 2.5.
You know what? With that, it you know, like that's compromising. That's, you know, when first is dating, then it's courting. You know, like you said, and then it goes to proposal. We're saying proposal. I didn't even say married. You know what I'm saying? I said proposal. So 2.5 years, we should have some type of proposal, and we should be talking about marriage, getting our marriage together. I'm not saying to get married. That's it. 2.5 years.
And I think that's where it went off topic at. Go back to your question, Ty. And I know a lot of women do that. Now, me personally, I'm independent. I have my self-respect. Most women will think that, and men will control women on that $1 billion, whatever you're talking about, because most women won't move on or think they can do anything because how I'm gonna pay my bills, what I'm gonna do about cars, because they depend on that man financially, and they don't go out and get it for themselves. So a man put a lot of control on that issue and dog them because the simple fact they know they the one that can provide, and she can't do nothing without him. So you would never throw money in my face.
Exactly.
To control me on anything. Exactly. Yes, I would walk away and live in a cardboard box on the bridge and have, you know, keep my pride before you can sit there and control me with, oh, he got $1 billion. You know, fuck your $1 billion.
It ain't mad. It's not mad. It's like these women that be, oh, look at his car. I don't give a hell. Is it mad? Is it in my name? I don't care about his house. Is that in my name? No, I'm not. I don't care. And you can ask, you know, just ask. You can ask, you know, your buddy, you know, you can ask him, because there was a football player, had money, splashing diamonds in my face, trying to talk to me. He went up to my husband because I would not go. And he went up to him and he said, man, you one lucky dude. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew that I'm not going. I'm just not going. I had somebody in my inbox this week, and Lord, he was in my inbox and he told me that he want a sugar baby, and he'll pay me $5,000. Do I look cold to you? Yeah. I mean, you see me and my husband in the background. Come on now. I don't need your $5,000. I got money.
Right,
I
right.
need that. So no, money
It's
don't make
plenty,
me. And
it's
I'm
plenty
not
of people with
going to.
there's plenty of people with money that's miserable. So money should not be your motivator at all. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of women out here, we got it already. We good. We don't
Right.
need your money.
Not
So
at
it's
all.
like it's good.
Not
But
at all.
It'd be good to be, helped or whatever. But that is, and now there's women out here that are money hungry or whatever. But
well, see,
that
I only brought up the money thing because I said, but remember when I said the money thing, I brought up the situation that everything was going great, and I think the reason why I brought it up is because I thought, Judy, I thought you had a hard deadline on that 2.5 years. I'm like, if everything is going good, right? And he like, you know what I mean? You had two, 2 and almost half years, whatever. You're gonna be like, all right, I get to start packing my stuff up because you ain't been talking about marriage.
But if
Yeah,
anybody
and
out there want to know, is $COM? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I am. I really am. If it's not going anywhere, But like I said, I married my husband pretty young. I married him, within a year. So it was truly a blessing to be able to do that. It's also just a blessing just to be able to choose who you want to be with. And I think as women and men, we take it full advantage of that. I think we do. Because in other countries, you just don't have that choice. Some countries, you don't have that choice.
Right,
Just
right.
be like you with this ugly dude, and that's it. Then get it together. Go get
okay.
it together.
All right, we're gonna wrap it on up. That was a great topic. Ty, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
You
you,
brought great
Ty.
No
points.
problem.
We
Thank
appreciate.
you.
I know Table had jumped on you a little bit when you had got up in here. But you knew what you was walking into, and we definitely
Right.
appreciate you. Hope to have you on as a guest on another show. So thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and close out our show with Just Ask. Go ahead and take us on out, girl.
Well, I want to thank you girls and our guest speaker, Ty, aka Playboy T, on sharing your thoughts and your opinions on how long you think it should take for a man to propose. And again, I guess it just depends on when that man is ready to propose, but it also depends on how long that woman is willing to wait. To our audience, feel free to share your thoughts and your opinions on today's topic and any other topic that we may address on the show. Also, if there is a topic in mind that you would like for us to discuss, let us know on our Facebook page at Girlfriend Talk Podcast. Thank you again for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Check out my pic, I'm flying this bitch. Check out my whip, we start the shit. Watch on my clips, you need to like, share, subscribe to this. Who is this chick? Damn, she thick. She rolling her hips, she playing this shit. Twerk it, watch it dip. You need to like, share, subscribe to this. Check out my pic, I'm flying this bitch. Check out my whip.